So we're back with another video. This time we're talking a little bit more about nutrition, exercise, and maybe a little bit more. So, next question.
So, how did you handle nutrition versus exercise? What role did each play in your success, challenges, and setbacks?
I think nutrition and exercise, when you bring, they're like equally important. In my opinion, you might disagree because, like, for me, it's super important. Like you gotta get your protein. You gotta get, and like for the past year, I've been in like pretty much a calorie deficit, or tried to be, and I feel like I could have done better, obviously, with my nutrition to get to my goals faster, to lose weight, gain more muscle. So I think nutrition is huge, just as much as exercise.
Yeah, so I would say, depending on what your goals are, ultimately, nutrition is key. Both of us started along the nutrition lines and added exercise later. But again, it really depends. If you're just trying to lose weight, nutrition will get you there. Exercise is going to help you maintain your muscle mass, which is ultimately going to give you the physique and the metabolism you need. So they do need to work hand in hand. But again, you know, what kind of athlete do you want to be, or what kind of person do you want to be? If you just want to be thin, you can get that with nutrition. So it really just depends on your goals.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the hardest obstacle you faced, such as plateaus, emotional eating, social situations, motivation dips, or dealing with unsupportive people?
Cheesecake.
Hardest obstacle. That's a good question, because to me, I think eating right is like such a simple thing. Like, really, when you think about, like, it's a simple equation to get to a goal, but sticking with it, I think, is still a hard obstacle. I don't think I've cleared it yet.
Yeah, I would say eating is. So I heard somebody say, you know, exercising an hour a day, and especially when you get to the point where you love working out, that's easy. The other 23 hours a day, you have to eat right.
Yeah.
So that's where the discipline comes into play.
But I think the one I overcame was the exercise. Like, when I wanted to get
initially,
I wanted to get consistent with the gym, I was going in the evening.
Yeah.
And that wasn't good, because more important things, like, there are more important things than exercise in life. So in the evening is like, that took away from exercise, and it was, to me, there were valid reasons why I couldn't go to the gym. So switching to going before work, going in the morning, getting up early, was, I think, a big obstacle that I did actually overcome.
But once you overcame it, it's easy at that point.
Yeah. Now,
could you imagine not starting your day without the gym?
No. And now in the winter, when I get bored in the afternoon, I'm like, I kind of want to go to the gym. And I've already been in the morning. So
I go again, but you know, that's fine.
So what was your obstacle?
Yeah. So like I said, the nutrition side is definitely harder. Getting to love the gym or love exercising is an obstacle, but once you have it, you're golden. So yeah, and I think nutrition is something you're always trying to fight with, because you're always, you know, hey, I need more protein, or, you know, we're at a party, and is it okay to eat this, that, or the other? I do think a big thing with food is never victimizing any food. You know, if you want to have a slice of pizza, have a slice of pizza. Plan it out in your macros. So it's not impossible to enjoy social gatherings and stuff as well. Just make sure you plan for it and you're smart. And if everybody else is eating like slobs, just whatever, don't.
Right?
Okay. Tell us about a major setback or failure. What happened? How did it feel? And what did you learn from it?
I can start.
Go ahead.
Okay. So for me, initially I lost 60, 70 pounds. Really good. I got comfortable with myself, and I gained 20 of it back. This was in probably after the first year. And I think that for me was a learning thing, that this is not a one-time deal. Fitness, nutrition is not something you just do once and then you just coast on. It's something you have to learn, that it's a lifestyle change, and never being too comfortable with yourself. I had a friend of mine, he said this to me. He said, be happy with your achievements, but never satisfied with your achievements. And if you keep that mindset, you can have the joy and the victories and reaching the goals, but the goals are never the end. The goals are just simply new starting lines.
Yeah, that's a good and dangerous mentality. But for me, I had the same problem. I lost all the weight, kind of put it back on. Never got back up to where I was. But from the biggest obstacle or setback I had was like midsummer last year, when like work, life, a lot of things got really, really stressful.
Yeah.
And I lost a lot of weight way too fast, where I lost muscle, and it felt like a huge setback. It was pretty depressing. Like when I did that in-body scan, and like I was excited at first at the weight that showed up on the scale, but then when it gave me like what had actually happened, it could have been a wrong reading. It could have been false, but it hit me hard. It was like I lost like 4 or 5 pounds of muscle and gained a little bit of fat. And I've had scans like that in the past where it's like, I don't believe it. That one I believed.
Yeah.
Because it felt real. Because it like I was under so much stress and I let it get to me so much. It was hard. Because then it was like, I need to change how I eat. I need to change what I'm doing. I need to figure out how to not be super stressed about these things that are really stressing me out. That was a big setback. And I don't know if I've fully figured out how to deal with the stress. Right now, I think I'm pretty comfortable with it, but I don't know if it's just because I'm numb to it. Because all the things that were stressing me out last year in midsummer aren't fully gone.
Yeah.
So am I just handling it better, or am I numb to it? So we'll find out when another big change comes, when it comes to my stress levels.
Yeah. And I think when it comes to setbacks, that's something we have to realize. Maybe some of you are younger and don't have families, don't have as many work responsibilities. I think setbacks are going to happen for most middle-aged men that are trying to balance everything. So it's going to happen. Get used to the idea, but you got to get back on the horse, and that's what's key for both of us, I think. And we're probably going to have more setbacks.
Yeah,
you'll get to see them. Lucky you.
Yeah.
How did you deal with non-scale victories or times when the scale wasn't moving but other things were improving, like energy, clothes fitting, confidence?
That's the hardest part, I think, of the first 3 or 4 months of when you're trying to exercise and diet right. The scale doesn't move that much.
No.
Because really, if you're doing it close to right, it won't. You're going to be losing fat and gaining muscle at the same time, which is possible to do, and especially in the beginning. Like that's when it's really possible to do. And to me, I weigh myself every single day, which is not healthy. But so the way to deal with that for me was to notice those things. Notice like my pants aren't fitting as good anymore. Like my shirts are more baggy. My suits, I need to alter my suits, even though the scale really hasn't changed that much. So you have to look at that. If you're looking at the scale every day, it's going to really, really hurt your progress, I think.
Yeah. So I think if all you focus on is nutrition and your goal is to lose weight, you should see those numbers moving, especially if you were as morbidly obese as I was. You're going to see movement. When you factor in working out with that, you're going to have some recomp going on. You're going to try to stay more of a maintenance calorie because you're building muscle. So you got to look at victories, as mentioned, clothes fitting, muscle definition. You're also going to see, if you're lifting 5 pounds more than the previous week, or you're increasing on the workouts, or even like your cardio is getting better, because we do cardio, even though some people don't. Those are all victories. So just take the small victories, and the moment you sink into that depression, you're like, oh, the scale's not moving. That's when most people quit, and that's where we got to keep going.
I totally agree. You'll quit because you don't see that number changing, but look at the other things. Look, where are your shirts fitting different? Are your clothes fitting different? Focus on those things, because like right now where I'm at, I mean, the scale might move 2 to 3 pounds, but I notice the difference when I actually go do a scan.
Yeah.
I know they're not perfectly accurate, but
Right.
that's where you see the numbers change.
Gives us something to work with.
Yeah.
How has your relationship with food changed throughout this journey?
That's my relationship is more just don't eat as much as I used to. I still struggle with, it's weird. Like I love ice cream. I love soda, but I haven't touched a soda, but maybe 1 or 2 times in the past 3 years. Ice cream, same thing. Randomly, I'll have it here. I love donuts. Like, donuts, it's a literal like just yesterday I left the gym. There's a gas station that has donuts that I like right next to the gym. I wanted to go get one so bad.
Sure.
And I didn't, because I know, like, because the sugar is the part that, like, once I start having sugar, I constantly crave sugar.
Yeah.
I don't think I've won the battle with food yet, like my addictions or things like that.
Yeah.
Because I've been able to, like, oh, well, I got room in my calories. I can have a donut, which I guess is okay, but
Right. I think, like I was saying, victimizing one food is not necessarily good. But so for my situation is a little different. My relationship with food is basically fueling workouts, hitting macros. I don't really eat sweets much anymore, and honestly, I don't really crave them. If I do, I go eat some yogurt, and there's my sweetness. So. But again, I kind of did that initially with my crash diet. I, taught myself that was my punishment of what food should be. So I guess that's where I'm at with food. I still haven't won.
we both feel like we haven't figured that out yet.
All right. What role did mindset or mental health play? Was there a shift in how you talked to yourself or handled stress and emotions?
No, not a difference in how I talk to myself. And stress and emotions, I think, for me, like, there's like what can stress me out from one day to the next can be totally different. So no, I haven't mastered that.
He has a much more healthy approach. I basically hate myself, and that's how I perform the best.
I want to talk
body
to
dysmorphia, some other things. So
yeah,
we can skip that.
We'll get to that. Well, I mean, the body dysmorphia, that comes up later in some questions, basically.
Yeah. Did your identity or self-image change? How did you navigate things like, who am I if I'm not the person who eats certain foods or skips workouts?
I don't see myself any different based on what I eat. I do get irritated with myself if I feel like I kind of like really got away from where I should be. But body image that's like the hardest part of this. The part that concerns me the most about going down this journey is, will it ever be enough? Will I ever find a happy spot? Because like me 13, 14 months ago, looking at me now would be like pretty happy. Extremely happy. But I'm not happy with it right now.
Yeah.
Like, I want to get leaner. I want to get a bigger chest. I want my shoulders to be bigger. My legs need a little bit bigger. I don't want huge legs, but I constantly see things in myself that, like, I want them better. Will that ever stop?
Yeah.
And that's what that's an honest worry, that I don't want to be obsessed with myself and the fact of like constantly wanting to be better.
Yeah. So body image for me, I think when you lose any significant amount of weight, but even more so when you're, reaching 100 pounds, you do lose like a little bit of identity. Like you don't recognize yourself anymore. And so there's that constant like, you know, who am I? What am I doing? And when your whole life changes, you know, that's there's always that concern. And I think that's something I haven't quite figured out. So I can't help you figure that out. But
well, that's I think that's kind of like one of the differences in our journeys is when you show people pictures of yourself from 3 years ago, you get a lot of that's not you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Like, people think I'm yanking their chain.
It's a fake picture. I mean, one, he didn't have a beard back then. And two, I mean, it's almost 100-pound difference, right?
Yeah.
It's a huge difference. So for me, it just like, oh, that's you, but you're fat. Like when, like that's what people see. So it's believable for you. You look like, to some people, a completely different person. So I guess that question's actually probably more relevant to you.
Yeah. So you do. I mean, I guess, you know, that's something I'm going to have to figure out. I'm still figuring out. And to go along with you, though, I mean, there is that body dysmorphia, or will it ever be enough? Again, if you would have showed me a picture of me now and said, dude, you can be like that, and I'd have been tickled to death. But now I'm like, man, you fat piece of crap. So hopefully I get past that eventually.
Okay, what's your proudest moment or biggest non-scale win so far?
Beating Joe in the BS mile. We'll talk more about that later.
I think proudest moment is, if I have to be specific, is being able to bench 100-pound dumbbells.
Yeah, that was significant.
That's huge for me because like back when I was like 25 or 24, I got to like 75s and I couldn't get past it. So to be well beyond that now is like huge for me. Like I wanted to get 80s and I got that, and then I was like, well, now my next goal is 100s, and I got that, and that's huge for me.
Yeah. I think we'll talk about this more in other questions, but our training methods are completely different. When I went into the gym we are now, we're at Plus Ultra Fitness. It's a functional fitness, basically CrossFit style. The owner, it's a cult. Don't join it unless you want to. The owner there was a very fit man that I considered somebody to look up to when it came to fitness. And so my goal hasn't quite been achieved, and that is consistently beating him. I've only beat him once, tied him a couple of times. So that's my goal. Haven't quite got there yet, but yeah, we're getting close. So
that's a good place to stop this section of the video, and we'll be back with more.